These are the heaviest and most powerful of our wild dog species. Absolutely incredible to see them here in the open. Fortunately, this group have got a number of youngsters, and they came out of an area of grassland. A little bit of interaction, a bit of playing here between these youngsters. The very red coat of these dogs distinguish it quite clearly from the golden jackal. Such a rare thing to see them in the daytime. This is only the second time I've ever seen this creature in all the years I've lived here.
What attracted us to have a look at these plants was the terrific noise of bees and flowers feeding off them. Because of their magnificent shiny metallic blue color, my eye was immediately drawn to the blowflies, which were feasting on the nectar. I've never watched a flower this close, but that tongue-like proboscis sucking at the flower definitely showed us how tasty the sticky covering on the flowers were. The honeybees were making most of the noise, and they made up the majority of the activity around the flowers, moving frantically from flower to flower. Their movement and their feeding style was quite similar to these flowers. A small spider, which had made its web amongst the thorns, found it easy today to catch a honeybee, it hanging paralyzed from the spider's mandibles. Large black ants also fed on the nectar, not having the advantage of flying from cluster to cluster. A wandering glider dragonfly also silently flew in amongst the noise and landed on one of the many sharp thorns. A mantid climbed up between the thorns. It had also been attracted to the plant with all this activity. This mantid is only 25 millimeters in length, not much larger than a bee. But this didn't seem to stop it standing still between the flowers and trying to catch the honeybees in midair.
We're about 4 or 5 k's out to sea when we found our first common dolphins, and even these guys didn't seem to be too energetic. It's funny, sometimes the sea just seems to affect all the animals within it, and everything just seemed very, very lazy. Normally these animals are really flying along at this time of the day. Early, it's when most of the predation happens. As in most pods, you'll always find one guy that will be a lot more different to the rest, and this was this chap. He was just having a ball. We followed these animals for about 4 or 5 k's up the coast, and eventually we came across a little bit of sporadic diving, not much happening, lots of birds sitting on the ocean. All of a sudden they all took off and darted off to this one specific little spot, and it was just an amazing small tight bait ball. A lot of sharks, you see them sticking their heads out, lots of fins slicing through the water, and the birds were just going berserk. A lot of juveniles, in fact more juveniles than adults, and obviously for these animals it's their first sardine run as well. And what was quite amazing was, as quickly as it started, it stopped. Frenetic action, only lasted about 35 to 50 seconds, so very, very quick but very intense.
They were all bunched together, lying close and sleeping. Incredible amount of heat was generated by these buffalo. Steam was rising from all of their mouths. For a moment it looked like a settlement of buffalo, like a landscape with lots of little fires in the early morning. Smoke rippling out slowly from individuals. You could almost see the individual breaths that the different buffalo were taking. The herd was incredibly relaxed and just sleeping off the early morning chill. As the sun began to warm them, they started to move. And as expected, the lions were not far off. They had been lying just north on Doug's Island, watching this herd as they woke and started to move. The lionesses were very focused. They moved slowly into the thick grassland. Sneaking, skulking, just silently moving closer and closer to the herd. It's incredible how quiet a whole pride of lions can be